What is happening, guys? Game week 1 just finished yesterday. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's definitely yesterday. It's Monday, it's the 12th of August, and we are going to be talking everything Game week 1. Game week 1, how it went for me, how it went for you guys, the fires that are coming, Allison being injured, all the rest of it. Manchester United, Chelsea, fucking Zuma. How's it going, everyone? It's Raw, Jim Bob, Sossington. I noticed that you were having a little peek at the stream before it even started. I seen that you were like, you went on, you were typing all the commands. That's another thing. I've updated the stream a little bit. There's a few commands and stuff that you can play around with. You can do this, and it'll tell you all the main ones. There you go, and you can have a laugh. Untradeable Crespo. It's always De La Feu that people pick too. Damien, how's it going, my man? So yeah, and then after I'm going to have a little chat about what I wrote about on my new article that's up at Fantasy Scout just now, Fantasy Football Scout. And it's going to go over all of the fixtures from game week 3 onwards, because I felt like we're trying not to make any changes game week 1, game week 2, and then game week 3 we want to see who we want to bring in, and also you don't want to be knee-jerking out anyone unless it's like fires, i.e. Allison, which I think we should talk about first. I'm going to put the tunes back on. Did you notice that like I waited and it was a build up just before the build up? I just paused it. Ah, yes, perfect. How's it going, everyone? So how was your game week? Let me know. I want to know how the game week went. I want to know what you guys were doing. I want to know how many points you got. I want to know what your questions are for the game week, what you want me to talk about a little bit. I also have a thing. I'm going to try this, the first for the stream, right? I found a poll. And I'm just going to start the poll. I wonder what happens. Right, poll time. Who do I captain game week 2, right? So I wanted to see what we voted towards the end, just to have a laugh, see what happens. So so this is how you vote, right? You click vote and then you type in like that, right? And then it gives me I'll look at who's voted what. And I've also put a punt there. You guys, there you go, bam. So yeah, did that work? That's working. Awesome. All right. Should we just get into it? I'll just show you what vote De La Feu. Oh man, did you guys see? Did you guys watch the game? So I tried to watch every game that I could. I was out on Sunday in a pub, so I was watching the games kind of like in the background, which was cool. I watched most of the Man United game. I caught most of that, but I pretty much watched all the Sunday game or the Saturday games. And I was watching Watford, and De La Feu got subbed off in the start of the second half, and it was glorious because the first shot he did, it went like maybe 14 yards like left of the goal, right? And I was like, that's funny. I've been annoyed about him all week. It's pretty funny that he just missed his first shot. And then he like whiffed a pass, and all of a sudden there was like a counter attack because he missed something. I was like, wow, he's actually playing really shit. He's playing really bad. And then it kept going, and then he was taken off because he was playing so poorly. And I just thought it was really funny based on the fact that like I've been shouting about how not happy I am having to tell everyone to take them out of their teams. So that went right for me, so that's great. Let's have a look at what went wrong for me.
To the near post. To the net.
Sorry guys. So this is my team. Me Sartic 2. Thank you very much for the follow there. If you haven't followed the stream, like click the follow and then it will tell you when I'm streaming and stuff. You don't have to rely on Twitter and blah 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 blah. And you get to hear that awesome little messy thing. So this is my team, game week 1. I got 77 points, which I think is actually pretty good. Like a lot of people were down because they didn't hit the 80, and then oh no, they're above 1 million. But like, you picked all the right people. They just didn't do as well as what we hoped to do. King and Fraser did absolutely nothing. Zuma, we'll talk about him soon. He's in the bad books, definitely. Robertson was a bit unlucky. But yeah, everyone else did well. Murray, that was my only punt. So the fact that he didn't come off is not that big a deal, to be honest. So yeah, there's not much more I could have done with the team. And I'll talk about the individual performances. Martial or Sigurdsson? Martial just now. We had a wee look at Everton pre-season, and we noticed that they were keeping a lot of clean sheets, but they just weren't doing anything attacking wise, and that seemed to be the case again. You know, a 0-0 against Crystal Palace, who had their third centre back out, and no Wan-Bissaka. That's difficult, right? Welcome to the 70s club, Dave. Yes, exactly. So 70's not bad. 77 puts me on 1.3 million, and if you want to know exactly, then just click that.
Messi to the near post. Messi to the net.
I love it. I love it. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. We've been hacked. Someone's right. End the earth. I don't really like you doing that. Can I block that? Can I just stop you from doing that? I need a mod. There we go. I don't know how to do it. Type timeout. I don't know how to do it. There we go. Let's try that. Does that work? Oh yeah, hashtag mod. No, hashtag timeout maybe. This is great. Yes! 600 seconds, that worked. See, I don't need a mod. I did it. That was mental. Right, whoever that was, Andy Earth, thank you very much for the follow, but you're a fucking asshole and you ruined my stream already. Please refrain from using foul language. Oh, wow, Streamlabs did that. Right. I should mod someone. I'll do something. We'll figure it out. Might want to disable that setting on Streamlabs. What one is that on Streamlabs that I did wrong? What did I do? What did I do wrong? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. Just saying Siggy was unlucky not to get a return. Yeah, no, oh, definitely. So, what I wrote on the thing was that, like, Crystal Palace were really lucky to keep their clean sheet, and everyone who had Kelly, like, I've got him as my third sub because he's just 4 million, and I would rather have Dundalker come on. But like, yeah, Crystal Palace were super unlucky. You guys seen the goal line clearance. You guys seen Siggy, you know, like, just miss out. I mean, it was a bit of a sitter, but the point is that, yeah, like, anyone who has Siggy or has Richarlison or tried to get Keane, even though we said maybe we wait a little bit, the best part. Oh wow, no. Oh wow, it really hates you. No, it needs to be vote Salah like this. It needs to be that. We've got some kinks. For some reason, assist is blocked. Oh, because it's ass? Oh no. I don't know how to do all this stuff. Should we just turn it off? Hold on. Caps protection, symbol protection, link, word protection. Turn that off, right? And bugger. Right, awesome. Can you say assist now? Maybe it's just because it's my stream. Someone type assist. Make sure that works. There we go. Awesome. Right, so now that Streamlabs is completely shot, we don't know how to use it yet. So yeah, I added all these commands and stuff, but I also had to turn on Streamlabs, and now look at it. It's ruining the stream. So we were talking about. Let me just double check. Yeah. Sigurdsson, anyone who has kind of attacking people or attacking players from Everton, I would just definitely hold them because they were unlucky not to score. Having said that, if you look at the fixtures from Game Week 3 and onwards, Manchester United is pretty good. Tommaso with a host. Cheers, buddy. With the one viewer. Nicely done. I'm trying to have a look to see. Let's have a look at what Everton's lineup was. I'm pretty sure they played. So I opted out. So Mina got, bonus points, all 3 bonus points because he did well. Keane then got a few. Dean didn't really get anything, right? I'm pretty sure he just got the clean sheet. Where are you, Everton? Nice. Yeah, Mina, Keane, Dean, and Coleman played most, if not all, minutes. Excuse me. If you guys noticed, Coleman got captaincy, so that really means that he probably will be playing the majority of games. So the player that they got in, Sibidi, I think his name, or Sidibe, I think he's going to be playing centre back, and I'm not 100% sure he's going to be taking out. I don't know if there's any need to take anyone out yet, because they did play rather well defensively. There wasn't really many attack potential on Crystal Palace. They played really shit, to be honest. They had some good defense transitions, but they didn't really play anything after that. They kind of like allowed, they just soaked in that pressure the whole time. It was kind of like, you know, West Ham back in the day, just like parking the bus, Big Sam. Watford at home is looking like a good fixture. Yeah, Watford got butt fucked, and that was amazing because, you know, we didn't have any Watford players. Hopefully you guys didn't have any Watford players, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure on if I would ever jump on them just now. I'm advocating no one should ever make any transfers game week 2 or before game week 2, and that's simply because we set up our teams for longer than that, right? There's no point. One game doesn't show anything. I didn't even look at the stats. A lot of people are like, oh, here's the XG, here's the XA. I don't look at any of that shit for like 4 weeks because it all is blown out of proportion. You have a very small sample size. I could go out and play for Manchester United and get one decent ball and head that in, and that's me with a high XG, right? Like, or you know, points or whatever. So, but I'm shit at football is my point. I'm really shit. So, does that mean you should bring me in? Absolutely not. I'm a no one, right? Yes, there's different ways that we can differentiate between me and Rashford, for example, because Rashford has a known track record. But, you know, you don't jump on players just because of one game, even though they might have a history. Like, they could just have had that one good game, which I feel like Delafeu has been riding on this like all of last season. Is why so many people picked him. So yeah. Jimmy says, I called Brighton at home the easiest fixture, then that happened. Yeah, Brighton actually, like, really, really impressed. Dunk, everyone's 4.5 hero. He got an assist, I'm pretty sure. Murray, sadly, for me, didn't really get much, and he got subbed off in the 64th minute, I believe. So their new guy is definitely supposed to be where Murray plays, and that's a bit of a shit time for me because I'm going to have to use that a free transfer in the next 3 game weeks for him because he's not going to be playing very longer. I didn't really understand why people were saying that because Murray's been their top goal scorer for some time. But then when I watched the actual game and I watched how they were playing under Potter and I watched the new player come in, it was just so much more fluid. They're not going up the wings, crossing it in, hoping that Murray gets a header. If not, he gets a penalty. That's not what they're doing anymore. They're very, very, very. They're more like kind of like Leicester. When, you know, Vardy's holding it up a little bit, Tielemans is running through, they've got that kind of wide roaming position for Perez. He's not exactly out of position as much as we thought. If you watched it, he was like on the left, in the middle, he was kind of running about. Oh, fuck off. Did it just die? Did the internet just die? Can you guys still hear me? Are we alive? We did? Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Definitely? That's weird. Yeah. Samasa, that's how you do it. Oh wow, everyone's going for Salah. Okay, so we can hear me. Andon and Mapai both scoring probably spells the end for Murray. Yeah, exactly. So
Messi to the near post. Messi to the near.
Mama man, Jammy, Koja. Jammy. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Thank God, because I thought the internet went off and that would have taken a while. So yeah, so here we are. We've got Murray. He was our punt. I could have put his money into Kelly or something and got the 4.5 and maybe got 5.5, but I decided it was against it. Coleman, we didn't know if he was going to be playing. He got captaincy the day before, whatever, right? So Murray is now a fire for me. ish. He's got very, very limited minutes, right? So potentially I might use him as a transfer out for next week, not for next week, after next week. So this is what I was thinking. So we've got Murray, we take him out. We got Fraser, we take him out because we watched the Cherries. They weren't that great. Jonesy, 666. Thank you for the follow, buddy. We have 24 viewers. That's mental. I should probably do that big spiel like, "Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm Dave. I do streams, but like I just ate a steak pie, right? It was huge. I had too much potatoes, and I'm just chilling, right? So you can find out loads about me below, and I wrote a big thing on Reddit once, and people liked it, right? Anyway, Murray is an issue. I don't know what to do with him too much. I was looking at Keane, but he came on and he wasn't 100% there yet, and Everton aren't 100% there yet, so I feel like I can't really jump on him. However, who was really there, right? And this is the person that everyone's going to be thinking about is you guessed it, it's Rashford, right? Rashford scored 2 goals. He was playing kind of out wide and overlapping with Martial, playing really, really well. Chelsea had a bit of a shit time on Sunday. They just seemed like they didn't really know what they were doing. Everyone was saying that Lampard was playing like a naive tactic, but I think they're just so young. Everyone there is so young, and Rudiger wasn't playing, Kante wasn't playing. It was very much let's just go and attack the shit out of Man United, and Solskjaer absolutely called it. He was like, let's just let them attack for a while. Got lucky with the post with Emerson, and then he was like, right, okay, let's just counter the shit out of them. Like, let them do that, and then long balls. Pogba, I want you to play more long balls. I want you, Martial, like rushing up the wing. I want overlapping with you and Rashford, and then 4-0 like 20 minutes after, or 30 minutes after. So that was cool. It's not going to happen every week. However, Rashford took a penalty, which I like, and now I know he's not on penalties, and we can definitely put that down as just Pogba was like, you earned it. But like, what if he earns the next one? Will he take the next one? Is Pogba going to take any unless Rashford earns it? In which case, Rashford's in the box a lot. He might earn a lot of them. So I like that. I like the fact that Lukaku's not there. I like the fact that Martial was kind of playing. They were kind of playing 2 strikers, like overlapping each other. Whoever had the ball, whoever was running through, which is really good because it means that Rashford isn't going to get subbed out for Martial. Martial seems to be nailed in that number 9 spot, which was great. Liam, welcome, man. I knew you'd make it. Everton were 10 men when Keane came on as well. Yeah, that's another thing. We don't know how well Keane's going to do because he had 10 men. That's a huge issue. Like, they couldn't really attack as much. Jimmy says he spent 10 hours on a coach to Anfield and Pookie looked rather comfortable, so he might be my replacement. Don't think Chelsea would be a great prospect defensively, full stop. Yeah. Seth, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back, man. What do you think about Fraser to Martial? Main problem would be what to do with Murray, I guess. Maybe Pookie. And Damien had Trossard. Yeah, no, that was an issue. Like, I told someone in work to put in Trossard. They were like, I think they had Kovacic or something. And I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, you don't know how well Chelsea are going to play. I mean, I wasn't expecting 4-0, but I definitely wasn't expecting anything awesome. And I was like, just get Trossard for 3 game weeks and then, chuck him out and bring in whoever's good. And then he didn't play, and I got a big, massive, like, fuck you text from him right after, like, didn't even start. But that was everyone. Everyone was really annoyed, right? Martial for Fraser for game week 2. Absolutely not. We're not jumping on people, right? I know everyone's going to want to do this, but, like, it's just not worth it. That's not worth it right now. There's no point. For game week, for myself, for game week 3, like, if I did Rashford instead of Murray, I only really have 5 million to spend on my 4th spot. Now, that's fine. We might know who is doing well for 5 million, but I don't even have enough for McGinn at that point. So I might actually have to leave Murray in and do that with King. So I'd get Rashford in for King instead, and that means that I have that 5.5 million to at least get McGinn. And I know a lot of people were talking about, it was funny how it was 3-1 to Spurs, Kane scored 2 good goals in the last 5 minutes, but we're all talking about McGinn. We're all talking about like how good Aston Villa looked and how solid they looked. And although they didn't do really well defensively, one of their defenders still got 2 bonus points for, even though they conceded 3 times. So that's big news. Aston Villa look shit hot, really. And McGinn is as good as we thought he would be. And as a Celtic fan, it's really hard, it's really hard to say because we were like 0.2 million away from signing him. Aston Villa. So yeah, he scores the winning goal to get them into the Premier League, and then he scores their only goal against Tottenham in their first game of the season to wipe every smile off those fucking. I think Kyle Walker-Peters is gonna start. I'm gonna chuck him in. Yeah, if you had Kyle Walker-Peters, RIP. That sucks for you guys. we said it here on the stream. We're like, it's fine if you want to take a punt, but that needs to be your only punt because it might not work out. You're gonna have to take him out anyway. He's kind of like Murray, except a bit cheaper. So, I mean, we kind of did the same thing really there. Pookie's finish was very encouraging. Yeah, no, it was crazy because Norwich, like, let's have a look. I'm gonna show you guys this, right? Norwich has the worst fixtures, I'm pretty sure, of the entire Premier League going on. Okay, it's going to show up right now for the next 6 game weeks. That's just like what it's standard. Norwich have got Newcastle, which is fine. I think they might do well. But then like 3 away games, and the 2 home games they have are against Chelsea and City. Now that is horrible. They're horrible. Chelsea not so much now that we know what they're about, but I feel like Chelsea are going to get their act together right quick. First of all, Kante is going to be starting, and that's going to shut a lot of counter-attacking down. That's just what he does. He just shuts that down. The next thing I'm going to say is that the problem that I had with Chelsea was that they were playing a decent attacking side, and they just let a lot of things past them. And it seemed like it was mostly down to Zuma just not being comfortable with Christensen, and it's hard to see who's actually going to be taking the lead there, because Rudiger's going to come back and he's obviously their best defender, especially now that David Luiz is left. So what do we do? Do we keep Zuma? Do we leave him in? My job as a fantasy football manager is to just ride that wave, right? Ride this out until it becomes a problem, because right now it's not a problem. He's only 5 million. He's not like a 10 million starter, like, I don't know. He's not Vardy or anything. I don't need to worry about it. So he's just going to be sticking in there. But for Pookie, everyone's kind of saying that, you know, they really look good and he could have scored more goals. Absolutely. But over the long run, right now, you definitely have a chance to see if he plays well against Newcastle and gets another goal and looks amazing. Like, absolutely, go for it. Because Chelsea are probably going to let in at least a goal a game until they sort their stuff out. West Ham, you know, you can score away to West Ham any day of the week, doesn't matter. Man City's a blank, but like after Man City, let's have a look. After game week 5, so that would be 3 from now, right? Nope, 4. Maths, right? So after game week 5, look at that, they jump right up to 3rd best. So Pookie's not actually a bad choice, right? Now, I know that it gets kind of worse as it goes along, but like that's decent. That's decent. Burnley seem to be a lot better defensively, so I would take that one as a pinch of salt with how much they've rated them. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Bournemouth really disappointed, didn't they? Potential return for Rudiger is 24th at 8, so we might only have one more fixture of Zuma. That's true. But what potentially, like, so Zuma gave away the penalty, right? So that's one thing. He gave away the penalty. He got the yellow card. But see, after the second half, he was tracking those runs as best he could. Every single goal that got scored after that penalty was Christensen's fault. He wasn't tracking properly. Zuma was holding Martial along. And if you watched it, so Martial, he was tracking him along, and then Martial passed it out wide, and then Zuma followed the ball, which he's supposed to, and then Kante or someone's supposed to follow Martial, but didn't, so he got the pass back, the 1-2, and then Martial just ran up and scored. So Zuma defensively did everything right, except for the penalty and a few bad tackles here and there. So I'm hopeful that Lampard just says, right, that was my fault. None of you guys did anything wrong. I mean, there was a few ifs and buts, but like, let's go again, game week 2, and we'll see how it works, and then I'll make my decision. Because honestly, we've seen Zuma play amazing with Everton. That wasn't a typical Zuma game. So for me, it's definitely not a worry. It's just a -1. It's a bit of a bitch, but I don't think we need to worry about it too much. For everyone who's looking to get Pookie though, game week 6 and onwards is amazing. If you have to get him from game week 3, like, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? They've got Chelsea, then West Ham, then Man City, yes, but then after that you've got them for that good run. Man United being the only difficult thing after game week 6. And if anyone says anything to you, or are you worried about the money or blah blah blah, like, it's him or King, and right now he looked on fire and King didn't look great at all. Bournemouth, like, altogether didn't look good, which is awesome because they're a lot of money. So if we're taking them out, we can afford a lot of players. Like, I could go King and Fraser to Rashford and a 5.5 midfielder. That's not really, definitely wasn't possible last season, because Bournemouth didn't even end that high. They just score a lot of goals. They're very kind of hot and cold in that regard. So I'm not 100% sure if that was just like nerves, the first game. Maybe they were trying something out. Maybe they really missed Brooks. I don't know. But the point is that I'm glad that we have just decided as a kind of collective in the community to just never make a transfer game week 2, and just ride that wave and see, because it gives everyone a bit of more breathing space, doesn't it? Callum, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Let me read chat really quick because I talk for a long time. Could get Pookie and Martial for Fraser and King. There you go. Yeah, you could do that. That sounds great, actually. I mean, Martial's going to get more points than Rashford. He's much cheaper. He's not that far in, so it's not like you're putting all your money into hoping that they do well. Might get a chance to play with Lampard at Derby, Tomori. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Huge rotation risk with Harry Wilson and less goals for Josh King. Yeah, I kind of want to get rid of Josh King. So Liam says no game week 2 transfers. Yes and no. No game week 2 transfers unless you have Allison. I feel like that was the only injury. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know, who was it that kind of went off a little bit sore in Manchester United? Was it Martial? It was someone. I know Kevin De Bruyne played the full game until he was subbed like 18 minutes or something, and that was good because they're kind of monitoring his minutes, but he still did really, really well. And we'll talk about City and Liverpool in a second. There was someone else that went injured, and I can't quite remember. Felipe Anderson, that's who it was. Obviously, and honestly, we all knew this, but West Ham weren't able to show how well they can play with all their new, their striker and Forlan or whoever it is that's behind him. Felipe Anderson went off. They did play well in the first half. They played pretty good, actually. Defensively, they were all right, but like attacking wise, I was pretty impressed with them, especially Haller, however you say his name. He was holding the ball up. That's exactly why they bought him. Like, hold the ball up, let Felipe Anderson and let Anderson, is that his name? Run up the side. Or Antonio, I forget what the other West Ham winger is called, but they were both doing really well. And then Haller was letting them go, and then he was tracking back behind him towards the goal, so that he could like get on the end of their cross or whatever. It's exactly what they were doing. So that, I think, worked really, really well. But we just didn't see it in action enough for us to like think of West Ham, and that's a shame because everyone was talking about how bad their first fixture is, but then after that their fixtures are amazing. So I'm gonna definitely keep them in mind, and I'm not gonna jump on Man United just yet, just because they had one good game, right? So that's what it's always going to come back to. One good game. It's just one good game. It was just unfortunate that everyone who did well did really well. It was either get fucked or be fucked, really, this week, right? It was like 3-0 for Brighton, 3-0 or 4-0 for West Ham, 5-0 for Liverpool, or City. Was it 5-1 for Liverpool, 4-1 for Liverpool? Like, everyone just got creamed. So it's difficult to shout about any of the players on the other side, is my point. I'm going to turn the music down. I'll be teensy bit. People jumping off Bournemouth, but they could easily bang versus Villa. Yeah, exactly. That's the other side of the thing, right? We're thinking, you know, Bournemouth absolutely played shit, and they're too much money to keep, so let's just bin them. But what if they score 4 goals against Villa, and they don't concede? Then we're gonna have a completely different chat next week, right? Excuse me. That's why I think the best thing to do is just to kind of chill out and just let it do its own thing. And like, we'll just assess and we'll sit back. And honestly, once you make that decision, just to be like, yeah, I'm fine with my 77 points or whatever. I'm good with that. Let's just chill out. Don't really need to worry about it. Once you do that, then that makes all your decision making easier, because your decision is to not make any decisions. So you don't have to do anything. And you can just kind of breathe easier. What are you crying about? Yeah, I know, you really want to knee-jerk in Martial. Bloody cat. Bloody cat. Are you coming up or not? No, he's not. He's away. He's going to come say hi again and hit his tail off the mic again and ruin all your eardrums again. How are we doing in the polls right now? Let's have a look for captaincy. If you don't know, we're doing polls this time, first time ever doing polls on the stream. It's pretty hype. We've had 5 votes for Salah, 0 votes for Sterling, and 0 votes for the punt. I'm surprised no one knows what the punt is. People jumping on Origi when he won't play in Game Week 2. Yeah, like all the top players, like if you look at the overall rank, oh, someone literally just voted for the punt there as I closed it. Damien, you scoundrel. It's a big punt, by the way. You guys are you'll see it in a minute. Right, so yeah, people jumping on Origi. Let's talk about Liverpool, because we'll need to get to Alisson. The punt is Murray. Is the punt Murray? Yes, the punt is Murray. The punt is Murray. I'm so sorry. How do you vote on the poll? So you type in vote. The punt is Murray. I don't really have anyone else to punt on. So you type in vote, and then you type either Salah, or you type in Sterling, or you type in punt, because that's who I've got. I mean, I could put all my players in, to be fair, but that's a lot. So you don't type like that, just type one of those. Is it worth doing a transfer for Charlie Taylor, as he didn't play because of an injury in Game Week 1? I'm not sure how long he will be out for. If you have Charlie Taylor and you have to play him, like, you've done yourself a disservice by having a 4.0 million defender like that you have to play every week. That sucks. If you're in that position, you just leave him and you wait, and then you might have to take him out as part of a double transfer. Maybe downgrade someone else to upgrade Charlie Taylor to a 4.5 playing defender. I think Diop's still a great option. I think that West Ham have great fixtures. I think any Everton defender is a good option. If you can downgrade, if you've got Fraser and you've got Charlie Taylor, I would take Fraser down to a 6.5 and maybe add 1 million more to your defense. He's 4.5 million. Is he? Is Charlie Taylor 4.5? Oh shit. I thought he was 4 million. Sorry, I take it all back. Right, okay. If he's 4.5 million, again, you're gonna have to wait and see what the dude says during his press release. But yeah, if that's true, then you don't need to downgrade anyone. You could just straight swap out to Diop. But I feel like just wait for the pressers, because no one's gonna drop him. You're not gonna lose any money. We're not there yet in the. Also, he's not part of the template, so I think you're golden there. So I would wait till the pressers. If it comes up saying that he's not injured, then definitely leave him. If there's no mention of him, then definitely leave him. And if there is a mention that says, oh, he's out again this week, then hopefully you have like someone you can play Dendonker or something before and just leave him. Because honestly, those 2 free transfers in Game Week 3, you could make 3 moves for a -4, a mini wild card, and it would only cost you -4, right, for 3 transfers. And it's the easiest time to do that, because we've set our team up for 2 weeks at least, hopefully. So that's what I would do, definitely. Right, let's talk about Liverpool. Origi is not going to play every game. Trent Alexander-Arnold had an amazing cross, and Origi struck it well. He had a few good runs, but he doesn't do what Mane does. He doesn't like disorganize defenses. He doesn't get on the end of every Robertson cross that he can. He's just a less good Mane, really. Origi is, and he's a great sub now. Like, I feel like he's good enough to be a great sub. But yeah, I'm just a bit worried. I'm just a bit worried about it. I'm not 100% sure if I would even consider Alisson being injured a worry for defense. A lot of people are saying how's that going to work now? They've got a new defender. Or if you've got a defender and Alisson's not there, are you worried about it? But really, like, no, because it's just such a solid defense. I think Adrian's decent enough that we won't have to worry about it. But if you have Alisson, that's the thing I want to talk about. So if you have Alisson, then what do you do? Ederson hasn't actually done anything bad, and doubling up on Man City is absolutely fine. So if you want to just go straight, then that's awesome. If you have a plan in mind, if you say, right, I've got I don't know, if you've got a 7.5, if you've got someone at 7.5 and you really want an 8.5, or you've got a 6.5 and you really want a 7.5, you want someone and you don't know what to do, you could start that off now by going from Alisson to a cheaper goalkeeper, and then next week use that money that you've got in the bank to upgrade your guy, right? So you could be smart about it if you wanted to. If you've got your eye on a couple of players at a price bracket that's just a bit higher than what you can currently do in one transfer, you can set that up with your keeper, because right now you kind of have the excuse to get rid of someone, i.e. Alisson, who won't be playing for the next 6 weeks. Absolutely worth it taking him out. So will there be price rises this week? Jim says there might be. I can show you the price checker that I use. Let's do that right now. Price checker. Where are you? Awesome. So I'm going to post this into the stream. Hopefully Trent plays on Wednesday. No, I hope he doesn't play on Wednesday. I've got Trent. So this is the price checker that I use. Let's go into stat mode. Ederson's very close to transfer for going up to 6.1. Sterling's very close to going up to 6.1, and then Rashford's not as close, but you know, he's getting there. And then De Gea, Origi, that's mental that he's even in that. McGinn and Pookie are there, cheap punts that could be doing well. Yeah, so this is fairly expected, except for, you know, Pookie and McGinn and Origi. And that's a bit of a punt right there. I would not look at that. But Ederson, if you're wanting to transfer out, if you want to transfer out Alisson, I'm absolutely fine with you getting Ederson, even if you already have a defender. If not, if you don't have a defender, then even a better reason, get some City cover and go for Ederson. If you want to also drop him down and use the money to upgrade to someone who you've got your eye on, then you can do that this week. Just make sure that there's a few players that you have your eye on and not just one, because what if they get injured next week? What if they play absolutely shit next week and it was just one good game, etc., etc. So we've got to be kind of use this tragedy of your goalkeeper getting injured to your advantage and just kind of like let it go, right? And let him out your team and get some money and try and use it elsewhere. This is a good opportunity to do that, but don't take a hit. There's no need to do that, right? Because you don't know who the guy is that you're taking out, if he's going to be doing well. So my plan, if I had Alisson, would probably to downgrade to Pope or Ryan or someone and use like 2 million and really upgrade my team when I've got 2 free transfers, or even take a hit next week and do the 2 moves anyway. Callum says what to do about Vardy, and Jeremy says absolutely nothing. I totally agree. Vardy will trickle points all season. Leicester were just a bit not unlucky, because I think that Wolves and Leicester both went out there thinking, right, Wolves and Leicester are main competition with each other. They're kind of all gunning for the same spot. Wolves know that they're going to be a little bit tired because of European football, so they're probably playing a little bit more defensively. Leicester are probably better on the counter, so I mean, it was just an unlucky kind of like, let's just go home with a 0-0 draw. That's fine with us. But Vardy in general had bad fixtures from game week 1. I wrote about it in my article, and I said that I probably wouldn't want to get any Leicester players until at least game week 8. So Vardy, if you've got him, you're going to have to stick with him or get rid of him like next week and maybe bring him back later. But I feel like Vardy's going to be doing fine. You need to have him kind of all season to really find that sweet spot. So yeah, that's what I would do. Right, so we've done most of the teams that we're really talking about. Oh yeah, Dendonker, absolutely Dendonker. That was unlucky. I mean, everyone says that VAR is an issue, and we don't like VAR, and VAR is making the game worse, and blah blah blah. But it's not VAR. It's just the rules, right? The fucking offside, was it offside, was a handball, like whatever it was, like it's showing that the rules are too harsh and they need to get pulled back. Obviously, like when Aguero had to retake that penalty, like it didn't matter. It's just annoying, really. These rules are kind of annoying, and VAR is doing what it's supposed to do, and it's correctly applying the rules to the game. I love VAR. I think VAR's amazing. See that Sterling offside? I thought that was fantastic. I had Sterling, and I thought it was amazing. Sterling obviously came back and he was just onside for one of his goals, and that was like a big thing, and everyone was like, thank God. And he was like, you could see him, he was like, oh, finally. But the thing is that it doesn't mean we can't change the actual rules. That handball, like the accident that like it hit his hand a fraction, and then Dendonker went and scored, but it doesn't count because of that. That's stupid. It's just stupid, and it should be removed. But definitely not VAR, because we love VAR, and it'll definitely save us. If any people had Leicester defense, how happy are they that happened? So yeah, it's gonna come good for both people. Swings and roundabouts in that. The biggest swing in emotion. I bet, because unfortunately you had to play Dendonker, right? And to unfortunately have to play a 4.5 million midfielder only to have them score and then to take it away. Oh man, I'm really. I don't mean to laugh, right? But that happened. Someone messaged me going, I can't believe it, Dendonker just scored. And then they went, it's been taken away. They were raging. So I mean, I get it. I would have been absolutely raging as well. Followed by a lot more bourbon than I'm currently drinking. Yeah. All right. We've been streaming for 48 minutes. Let's talk about De Bruyne. Who actually has De Bruyne in their teams? I was talking a lot about him. This kind of happened last season. Do you remember Bernardo Silva played absolutely out his mind? Played out his mind in the Community Shield. And I brought him in for game week 1 and he scored, and then he got an assist the next week, and then really didn't do anything, and it kind of trickled from there, and we realized he wasn't the player that we needed for FPL. He's an amazing player in real life and he's so good to watch, but wasn't that great for fantasy football. This time, De Bruyne played amazing for the Community Shield, and all eyes were on him, right? And then he performed fantastic enough that I changed all my team to bring him in. And then game week 1 just smashed out the park. He could have had 3 more assists. David Silva decided that he was going to try and like take the ball with his left foot 8 feet in the air instead of just let Sterling like nod it on for the second assist. That would have been amazing. Kevin De Bruyne, I'm absolutely over the moon with that, as he's in my team, and he was much like Trent Alexander-Arnold. I didn't really touch on that. Like, if you have Trent, you should be laughing. His XA, his like potential assists were through the roof, and he managed to get one in the end. But like, he could have got so many more. He nearly scored as well. Van Dijk got 1 header and 1 goal, and that was shit because I took him out with 5 minutes to go. But I really had a feeling. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If Alexander-Arnold gets ditched, then whatever. I can just downgrade him to Van Dijk. It's much harder to go from Van Dijk to Trent Alexander-Arnold. And then after watching the Liverpool game, I was like, I made the right decision. It doesn't matter. Those 2 points between Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold absolutely does not matter. It was the decision, and the decision, like looking at the game, Van Dijk scored a corner, And Trent Alexander was pulling the strings on that flank, right? He was just doing amazing. And there was a lot of people tweeting saying like, "Oh, I'm like, I don't have Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'm feeling a bit nervous about it." It was the same thing that people were saying when watching De Bruyne. He was making runs, he was making those passes we love to see. He was playing a lot further forward than I thought he would. That a lot of people thought he would. So absolutely fantastic. Okay return, but one to monitor, says Seth. Kevin De Bruyne's dictionary definition of set and forget, I absolutely agree. Capable of getting 200 plus, but need to be patient. 100%. Easy to move sideways to Son, Pepe, or Eriksen. Like, these are all great points. Like, if he gets injured again, like he pulls up and he's like, "Oh, my wee glass ankle," and like we're all like, "Oh, fuck off." I'm gonna be like, "Thank fuck, I can go get Son now," or I can downgrade him and go get Rashford. Like, he has a lot of money. I'm putting a lot of faith in him. Like, he's nearly worth 1/10 of your overall value. That's a lot of money to put in on one player, hoping they don't get injured. But after watching the Community Shield and the game week 1, I'm not worried about him anymore. And that's just it. Trent Alexander-Arnold seems to be far more exciting and risky. Robbo is far safer. Their points total will probably be the same. Yeah, I mean, as long as you've got one of the or two of the three, I'm sure it's not a huge deal which one you go for. I was actually thinking about, because of their defense, the problem with Liverpool is, like, when you were watching it, did you think they were going to get a clean sheet at all? Because I definitely didn't. I didn't. I was watching it. I was like, it's gonna happen any day now. It's gonna happen any day. Pookie's gonna score, or he's gonna set someone up. Regardless of how it happens, like, they're gonna concede. And then Allison went off, and I was like, yeah, they're definitely gonna concede now. And it just happened. And unfortunately, we've all set our teams up now. But in my wildcard, I'm gonna seriously be thinking about having 2 attacking players instead. Oh, hello. See, I talk about attacking Liverpool players and you jump up, huh? Huh? You liking that Firmino? Yeah, Firmino played amazing as well. I don't know if you guys were watching him, because all eyes were on Salah and Origi to see how well they did, right? But Firmino was, like Klopp says, the engine. He was making things happening, and he should have scored like 4 times, I think I counted. 4 times, and instead he passed it along. And that's the player he is, but that's the type of assist that you should expect, right? He's gonna be doing that. You gotta stop hitting your tail off the fucking thing. Vote Sterling. Oh Jesus. I called the Pookie goal weeks ago just because I knew the CS wouldn't happen. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good call, because I was thinking they were gonna get a clean sheet. Pookie played for Celtic a while ago, and he was good, but he couldn't finish to save himself. And then last year he got 29 goals in 40 games or something. So it was a real treat to actually see him do well and play well and ruin a lot of people's fantasy points at the same time. The Buendia assist has me purring for the future too. Yeah, it's funny that the 2 players that are over 5 million on their team, or 5.5 million, are the guy who assisted the goal and the guy who scored the goal. So, like, they had it absolutely right, their pricing for them. And Pookie is, if he was 6 million, I reckon everyone would jump on him. I'd be thinking about him non-stop. I might be very tempted to go Murray to Pookie right away, but he's 6.5. I think it's great pricing. Firmino is so damn good. It was great from Tite to find a way to play both him and Jesus in the national team. Tite, sorry. Yeah. Celtic fans mocked us so much when we signed him. I mean, it was a bad signing. See that right there? It wasn't like we were happy to get rid of him. He didn't score at all. He was a very, very poor finisher. And then you guys took him, and now he's a finisher. Just happens. Because that's the difference. Celtic can't afford to have their star striker not perform. They play, in the Champions League every year, whereas Aston Villa doesn't have that pressure. Or not Aston Villa, Norwich doesn't have that pressure. So yeah, for me, in my team right now, and in other people's teams as well, the fires really are Zuma and Murray. Everyone else is okay. So I don't really need to worry about anyone else, especially since, we're just chilling right now. We're just chilling. Drop Walker Peters to the bench in place of Dendoncker versus Man United, or Lundstrom versus Crystal Palace. Lundstrom? Definitely Lundstrom. Because if Lundstrom plays OOP again, right, out of position, then he might get a cheeky assist, he might get a goal. But also, like, they weren't playing poorly defensively, and Crystal Palace were playing poorly attacking. So I would just play him all day, every day. I have a new friend request. What the hell is a friend request? I didn't know you could friend people. Hello, Seth. We can be friends. Right. So should we do some rate my teams? I'm thinking I'm not 100% what to do with rate my teams right now, right? Because my advice is going to be stay. You know, I mean, we can have a look. We can talk about the fixtures for game week 3 and onwards, right? That's what we should do. We're only 56 minutes in. We can absolutely do it. So here's what we're going to be doing. Right. If you click on article, it takes you to the searching the Monday after, and my article's up on Fantasy Football Soccer. So let's have a look at the fixtures for game week 3 and onwards, and we can assess who we might want to jump on, because I wrote the article with game week 2 in mind, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't want anyone to do any of this shit. I don't want anyone to transfer anyone out. So I kind of re-looked at it, and a lot of the fixtures didn't change, but some of them absolutely did. So without a doubt, the best thing. All right, let's have a look. West Ham, go, go, go. I actually wrote about West Ham last week. West Ham, great fixture, right? Let's just go into the fixtures. So, game week 3 to 12 might be a bit of a stretch. So let's look at game week 3 to 9 or something, right? 3 to 8. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so right at the top, West Ham, go, go, go. And when I say go, 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 I don't mean the same as you. I mean absolutely West Ham. Like, they have a really, really good attacking front. Obviously, Felipe Anderson is now injured, but it didn't look like he was too sore, and he did walk all the way around the pitch on his own and everything, so I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. Watford away. Watford didn't really show that they were good at all. Norwich at home, they're going to concede goals. Aston Villa away, they're going to concede goals. Man United at home. West Ham always show up against Man United, right? They definitely do. They did last year. So I don't even think that's a bad fixture for them. It's just that they're going to be working really hard. Bournemouth away, fine. Crystal Palace at home. I would say Crystal Palace is the only one that might be difficult, but it's the home game. It's game week 8. So by then they might have their shit together. They might be attacking more. And then Crystal Palace, if they're attacking more, they might have a lot of open holes and things like that for them to get through West Ham. So yeah, West Ham, from my opinion, is a belter of a team too. All right, Kitty, I get it. You like West Ham, but please stop hitting the mic. You gotta stop hitting the mic. I might cut your tail off. Oh God, I swear to God, he's loitering about. Yes, you. Can I help you? Are you gonna say hello? Are you just gonna annoy everyone? That's right at the mic. That's right the camera. All right. Who are you captaining next week? Who are you captaining? I think Sterling. Salah. Definitely Salah. Definitely Salah. Right, okay. Alright. He votes for Salah. West Ham away is a fixture where every team could get on the score sheet. Yeah, I definitely think so as well. West Ham aren't that great defensively, so but they have the fixtures to keep at least a few clean sheets. So I wouldn't say that they were down and out defensively. I just think, yeah, the scoreline could be 4-3 to them, right? We just don't know. You're in the way, Kitty. I need to press the button. There we go. See you later. No. One last tail swish. Thank you, Liam. I appreciate it. I think so too. I think my cat is very cute. He's just slightly annoying when you're streaming. Right, Man City. This is why I said that I'm absolutely okay with people going from Alisson to Ederson, even though you might already have Zinchenko or Walker or whoever. Oh, and by the way, before I had Walker in my team before I had Kevin De Bruyne, and I had to kind of downgrade a lot to get Kevin De Bruyne. And a lot of people are saying, why Walker, blah, blah, blah. But Walker, like I said in the stream ages ago, he is way more attacking this season if Zinchenko is playing, because Zinchenko is playing more defensively. Walker's going to be just bombing up there, and he didn't got the assist. I was very happy with that call. Took Walker out right at the last second. Yeah, I think a lot of people did, because Cancelo came in, right? And that's a worry. And Pep always says that he wants to have a player in every position that is just as good as the other player. Like Bernardo Silva and Mahrez, now Walker and Cancelo, Zinchenko and Mendy. It's to keep their levels up, right? So they're always scared that they'll get dropped. But either way, people that aren't going to be getting dropped, Ederson, Laporte, Kevin De Bruyne, Sterling, you know, these are definitely the punt. Pep is a lunatic, but it works. Oh yeah, I mean, fear is definitely a good tactic. Fear of not getting success, right? So Man City just have amazing fixtures from game week 3 onwards. I don't see any of these as an issue for them. So even though Man City are already fixture proof, they're absolutely nailing the first couple of game weeks at least. Chelsea, this is the reason why I would say that Chelsea's not an issue for me. Like, having Zuma in there, as long as he's playing, I'm not too worried, because they're going to have to pick up clean sheets eventually. They're going to have to realise that they're playing way too attacking. Kante's going to be in, Rudiger's going to be in, hopefully Zuma's on his left. It would be really, really unlucky for Zuma to play on the bench after not being allowed to leave, and then seeing Everton, you know, outdo Chelsea. That would suck. He might hand in transfer requests and shit. So to keep him happy, I would say they'd have to keep him in. And Christensen, like I said, he was involved in a lot of the defensive errors that led to Rashford's 2 goals. So yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, not Rashford. Rashford's 1 goal. Daniel James' 2nd goal, I think it was. Okay, so next, if you notice that Spurs have actually jumped up. So Spurs were way down here. Spurs hadn't had very many good fixtures at all, because they had, you know, Arsenal game week 4, they've got City game week 2, but see if you take out City and you kind of look at how they're going to be doing in the next couple of game weeks. Like, they've got Liverpool game week 10, so if we don't look at that, we take that out, like, that's pretty good. Fourth best, not bad. Newcastle points, Arsenal points, Crystal Palace points, Leicester points, Southampton points, Brighton points, Watford points. If you've got defensive assets, I think that's good. I would just leave them in until they stop playing. The problem with the defensive assets for Spurs is that most of them is, you know, Kyle Walker-Peters, and Foyth is going to come back eventually, or he is not going to have a gammy hand forever. It's Kyle Walker-Peters' point to lose. And what did Kyle Walker-Peters do in the game? He had a bit of a tiff with McGinn and got like all riled up, and you know, it was just stupid, petty, young shit that young players do when they're all up and I've got testosterone. Now, fucking awesome, do that, but for fantasy points, that means yellow cards. That means immaturity. That, you know, for Champions League finalists, I don't think that's how you win your place in the team. Don't really have the transfer to waste on him, to waste on getting him out even. Very unsure on KWP. That's true, he did have a decent second half. He was more attacking than typically, you know, young players in that kind of team would be. I mean, he's been playing for a while. It's not like he's a new entity or anything. My advice is the same advice as I'm giving myself for Zuma, is to just very, very simply leave him and just see how it goes. Just see how it goes. And if it doesn't do well, then we can transfer him out at a later date. But as long as he's playing, he's not an issue. Eventually, what's going to happen is he's going to be dropped, and that's the game week that you get him out. You're going to just, like, let him go, have someone on the bench that you know is going to be playing. Anyone who has Kelly's in a good position right now, because Crystal Palace defensively are doing okay. If Kyle Walker-Peters doesn't play in Game Week 2, then he should be part of your Game Week 3 transfers. If he doesn't play in Game Week 3, he should be part of your Game Week 4 transfers, because you just don't want that kind of money spent on a player who's not going to be playing every week. And that's the same thing I'm going to be doing with Zuma. If you have Kane right now, you are banging. Kane looks to be banging. especially with Ndembele in the midfield, just like doing his thing, his like box to box shit. That's really, really helping Kane. It means he doesn't have to hold back much longer. And as soon as Eriksen came on the scene, you know, Kane then gets 2 goals. Like, it's just a very, very, very good situation if you've got Kane right now. Obviously, the next game week is a write-off. You don't really know what's going to happen when they play City, or Arsenal for that matter. But like looking at the fixtures now, you can see just how good they are for Kane. So if you have Kane, just hold on to him. Obviously, you're never going to get rid of him. But the thing is, we don't know what their midfield is going to be like, right? We don't know what their midfield is going to be like. We don't know if it's going to be Son plus Ali plus Eriksen, or Son plus Lamela plus Luka Moura, or if Eriksen doesn't leave, then he's obviously nailed, but who's going to be beside him is obviously going to be an issue. Callum, thank you very much for the follow, buddy. Appreciate that. I love that shit. I love that Mamma Mia thing. Welcome to the big fucking fat sexy team, my man. Damien says, I have Auba, not Sterling. Does this mean it's better to go Kane in game week 3 and resign to Sterling until wild card? Well, it depends on when you're getting your wild card. I would say that Sterling's going to go up in price fairly soon. Let's look at what is his ownership. Sterling's ownership is 36, and he got a hat-trick game week 1. So if he keeps doing that well, obviously he's not going to get a hat-trick every game, but say he gets 2 goals next game and a goal in the next game, and maybe, by game week 6 he has 4 goals and 2 assists, right? Like, he's going to be at least 12.5 million, because that is going to shoot up to maybe 50%. And if that's true, that's over 1 million transfers. So I can't see a way in which Sterling doesn't outscore Kane and Aubameyang, and it's only 1 million more. Although I appreciate it's going to be really difficult to bring him in, and you will have to downgrade a lot. So if it's impossible to do, then yeah, let's have a look at Kane versus Aubameyang. And actually, this is a good opportunity to let you guys know that I'm trying to get some money together to get a Fantasy Football Scout monthly subscription, and that means that I can do, and I've talked to the guys at Fantasy Scout, and they said that I could do a comparison between 2 players just once on a stream every week. And this is the kind of thing that I would be doing, you know, Kane heat map versus Aubameyang heat map. Who would we want to go for? Now, I'm not allowed to do that right now, and I also don't have the membership anymore because it expired, and then I had to start a new account so that I could be FPL Dave on there when I'm posting my articles. But nevertheless, all the money that goes into this stream is going towards getting that for you guys, so that I can actually have those heat maps and I can get that stuff. I spent a lot of money getting the lights and getting the camera and getting this little cool pop shield and all that stuff. So I'm trying to kind of let the stream pay for itself. Anyway, that's where all the money would be going to. If you give them content, why don't they give you a free membership? It's a community article. I mean, I don't have to post there. They don't have to do it, right? It's a lot of good exposure for me, and it brought a lot of new people to the Twitter, which brings a lot of people here. And I don't really want to be like, yeah, can I have some free membership, please? I mean, I could do that, but I'm not there yet. I don't like asking for things. I'll just work hard like I always do, and hopefully it works out, which is kind of my mantra for literally everything, including FPL. So yeah, I can give me money so I can get that shit, or don't. And what we'll do is, if it doesn't work out in like 2 months and I don't have it, I'm just gonna get it anyway, because I really hate not having it. It was so useful last year. I fucking love it. And if you guys don't have it, like, I wish they did a free trial and you could see, or maybe go and watch some of the stuff that they use it, because it's fucking amazing. It's like all the best websites that I've found for free, but just put into one site and able to like edit everything together. It's so good. So I would definitely recommend it, and I'm gonna try and get it for you guys as well. All right. Yeah. Fixtures. Next one. Obviously, John McGinn played well, and Tyrone Mings played well. But apart from that, you know, there wasn't too many standout people. Ruben Neves or McGinn for 5.5 million midfielder. Jonesy, I would definitely say, based on the screen that I have up right now, that from game week 3 onwards, which is, I'm assuming, where you're going to be doing your transferring for, Aston Villa have Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Arsenal, Burnley, Norwich, Brighton, right? Wolves have Burnley, Everton, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Watford, Man City, and Southampton. So the fixtures alone tell the story there, right? Aston Villa are shit hot on the fixtures, going from game week 3 onwards to game week 9, and Wolves are pretty pants. So, and also Ruben Neves doesn't really do what McGinn does. McGinn gets into the box, man. McGinn takes those runs head on. Neves is very much a let's just pass it out. I'm just gonna be that amazing kind of like Kevin De Bruyne standing in the midfield, just like ball playing, and hope for the best. So yeah, the only thing that Neves has on him, right, is he's on all free kicks, I think, and I've seen him take a penalty before, but honestly, like, I'm a fixtures guy. Aston Villa definitely. Oh, hello, Kitty. Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Stop crying. I'll be off, and we can play. We can go outside or something. Yeah, walk my car and what? Watch for McGinn's yellows. Looked a nutter. That is because he's Scottish, and it's kind of what he does. That's what he did up here. That's what we wanted him for. He's there to intimidate, and he does it really well. And look how riled up he got Kyle Walker-Peters. Honestly, he's like Scott Brown. He's great. Yeah, he might get a yellow here and there, but it's not offense to just, you know, hey, you're an asshole, and just watch them explode. It's not really, you know. He might get some yellow cards, but as you've seen, like, his tackling's clean. Like, he can also do that. It's not like he's like reckless or anything. If he's gonna get yellows, it's gonna be for, you know, the aggression after the tackle. Right. One last question I have. 6 million for another mid. Opinions. 6 million mids. I think they're all shit, actually. I'm serious. I think they're pretty shit. Like, let's have a look. Not Barkley. In your honest opinion, does that mean that every other opinion you have is not honest unless you write IMHO? Jammy? Huh? I'm on to you. I know what the fuck you're about. You lying son of a bitch. See, now it wasn't an honest opinion. You've changed your tune. Right. I'm only joking. Jammy means lucky. So you're lucky I don't ban your ass. That's exactly what it is. No, I'm just kidding, man. I agree. Barkley's a piece of shit. I wouldn't get him. He was everyone was like, it's a trap. Oh, is it a trap? Is he going to take penalties? It doesn't matter. He's not going to get any penalties if he doesn't fucking... H is for humble opinion, not honest opinion. Is it really? I thought it was always in my honest opinion. In my humble opinion. Is that even a phrase? Regardless, it was all a joke. I knew it as honest. Yeah, I thought, fuck. Honest. Damien, you're fucking out numbers. 3-1. Yes. Honest. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Shit, you meant 7 million. Good, it doesn't matter because we haven't started looking at them again. Alright, so 7 million. Let's have a look. 7 million. Not total points, let's do price. Okay, Mkhitaryan. Fucking absolutely. Mkhitaryan, 100%. Get him in your team, lads. He was so pants. He was so bad. Oh my god. No. Pedro was the best player on the Chelsea team, and that is bad news when that's happening. Zaha made Crystal Palace look really good when he came on, but I'm not 100% sure if I would jump on him right now, especially if we look at these fixtures for Crystal Palace. Like, they get really shit from game week 3 onwards, so I don't think I would bring him in either. Milivojevic, same thing. Sanchez is not going to be playing. Madison's too much money. Antonio, Felipe Anderson. We haven't seen enough of them yet. Gross. He did play, but it was because they were away apparently, and they opted for experience. That's what the Big Potter said when he came out. What do you think? 6.5 million. Huh? What do you think? Perez. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I think you need to wait a little bit longer, honestly. I think Lanzini is the person who I'm going to be noticing the most. Who said that? Jammy. Yes, absolutely. Lanzini's who I noticed the most in the West Ham attack. He was winning the ball back in Man City's box. He nearly got a penalty. And to be honest, like, I think he was the most up for it. He was like, I want this spot and I want it now. I want this saved. I don't want any Snodgrass. I don't want nothing. Like, I want you to pick me every week, and that's exactly what you want as a fantasy football manager. You want someone who's just going to be like aggressively attacking. So Lanzini looked great against City, who have a great defense, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does really wonderful things in the next couple of weeks, especially since, like we said in our fixture thing, they're pretty fucking high up there. So yeah. Last thing to note is Burnley. Burnley played amazing. Pope did really well. It was really nice seeing him playing again. Barnes, well done, Monkey. I think his Twitter just blew the fuck up when that happened, which was great. If you guys didn't see that, he did a wee post, a thread on why Barnes was amazing, even though he didn't score any goals in preseason. And then what happens game week 1? He scores a brace. Great. I saw a stat about Oliver Norwood passing into the penalty box. Could be a very cheap punt, but obviously stats should be ignored at game week 1. Yep, Jimmy, Jimbo, Jim Bob, Jim So. I think I agree. Definitely ignore those stats until, you know, we have a viable kind of what's that called? Sample size. So Burnley looked great. They definitely did their homework when they were playing. And now, unfortunately for us, we have to make that decision on whether we jump on them next game week or we kind of leave them and hope for no rises or anything like that. Now, the best thing that I can hope for is nothing happens, because like as you can see, like, Wolves away is a difficult fixture whether you like it or not. Despite the 0-0 against Leicester, it's still a difficult thing, especially since you know, they held Leicester on, who we were very hyping in hype mode for Leicester all preseason. Wait, who the fuck is transferring? Jonesy, our transfer's down, won't let me transfer. I mean, the transfer page isn't down, but I'm definitely not going to go and try and do a transfer just to see if that's true for you. But imagine I was like, wait, hold on, let me check. Let me just do something real quick here. Yeah, nope, they're working fine for me. What the fuck? Yeah, don't do transfers. Put your phone down. Stop it. They're trying to help you. Yeah, they're trying to be like, we don't think anyone should be doing transfers. Let's just stop. There's been too many transfers. Usually Wolves are shit in defense against Leicester. They're surprisingly good. And yeah, I think that's because they were told to not be wing backs. They were to be full backs, right? So they're actually playing 5 in defense for most of the game. Then Doherty didn't really get up so much. And on the other flank, they were kind of subdued as well. They were kind of playing kind of like supporting roles. They were kind of staying in their own half for a lot of the time. Just soaking up that pressure, it helped a lot. So yeah, I think like 5 at the back and without playing their usual attacking style really helped them out in defense. Jamie says he'd recommend Milner in his honest opinion. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. No space for Leicester to exploit. I agree. So in that case, I mean, we're not going to be jumping on Wolves or nothing. But we should be wary of teams playing them. So for Burnley's sake, they're playing a hard defence plus Liverpool defence, and then they play Brighton, Norwich, and Aston Villa, who all looked really good in game week 1. But if we go to game week 5 onwards, like, they jump up to 4th best, which is absolutely fantastic. And then if we look at them for the 10 game weeks, so that's game week 5 to game week 14, look at that. That's fantastic for Burnley. Anyone who has Pope, anyone who has Barnes, anyone who wants to look at Goodmundson, whatever. Wait, what's happening? Hold on. Jim says, nice Shaun of the Dead poster. Shame Hot Fuzz is the better film. You're just out of your fucking mind if that's what your opinion is. I absolutely disagree. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. How majestic is that? Look at that. I can quote everything from that film because it's all just absolute 100% pure comedy. Hot Fuzz, it's a lot of people falling down, isn't it? It's a lot of physical comedy. Like, you're never going to get more funny than hitting people with a cricket bat. Right? That's about as much physical comedy as I can take. I'm not considering World's End, but Hot Fuzz always win. Oh, no way. World's End was good. I liked World's End too. We can't talk about films too much because I will go on and on and on. That's the Shaun of the Dead, and I changed it from The Matrix, just as a little, as a little nice thing to do. Anyway, what we were saying. Imagine not being a Brit. Massive loss. Ooh. Have I mentioned I'm from Canada? Who's someone? Change the screens. Yes, you're right. Thank you very much for letting me know. We say you're wrong. What are we wrong? Urban Dictionary says humble. Oh, fucking who cares? It's honest or humble regardless. It was a funny little thing to look at. They're equal. How does a Canadian end up in Glasgow? Yikes. Divorce, actually. Divorce. Thanks for asking. So it wasn't my divorce, it was my mom and dad. I was born here, I moved over there to Canada, and then they got divorced when I was like 7, and then we were back and forth since then, and now I'm in Glasgow, and I'm having a blast. Glasgow's a great country. A great city, rather. Scotland as a whole is the funniest country I've ever lived in. Like, I've lived in a few countries. I've lived in New Zealand. I've lived in Canada. I've lived in Scotland. And I've been to a lot of places as well for over months, traveling a lot. And, yeah, Scotland's just hilarious. You guys are a hoot. We are hoots. England's not bad. We'll leave it at that. The stream is going off the rails. Yeah, we need a mod. We need someone other than me because I'll just talk and talk and talk. What's happening, cat? All I wanted to say is that I want to have Burnley players and I want to hold them and I want to squeeze them and I want to never let them go, but only from game week 5. So let's just promise we're not going to transfer any of them in until game week 5, and then we can let their prices go. England is better than America, I would agree. More importantly, what country league are you in? Scotland. I'm in Scotland's country league. I'm pretty sure. I better fucking be. Is more of the point league. Scotland. Yeah, there we go. So Burnley, great. Oh yeah, Man United. I wanted to just say this quickly, and then we'll do rate my teams because I'm kind of going on a bit, and I'll post my newest article on my Twitter after the stream, so you guys can all go and read that, and I'll do this in much of a less talky kind of way. It's very concise. You're only allowed 2,000 words on there, and I think Reddit I was going up to 3,000. So I have to kind of squeeze all my jokes into one sentence. So let's have a look at Man United because I know we're all going to be jumping in on them very soon if they keep it up. So I wanted to show you this, right? This is their next 10 game weeks. Let's jump in here. You ever thought of traveling to England? Oh, I travel to England a lot. I do it for work. Like conferences and stuff, so I'm down there often enough. It's a nice-ish place. London's pretty fucking expensive though, man. I'm not into it. Bottle of bourbon, 25 quid there. Bottle of bourbon here, 15. Scotland likes that drink. So here, you can see Man United have got decent fixtures in the next 10 after game week 3. So game week 3 to game week 12. They've got Crystal Palace, Southampton, Leicester, and West Ham as the 4. Now, if we just do those 4, right? They stay in the exact same place, 5th best fixtures, as if we do 10, right? But I would say that those 4 fixtures are even easier than this is making it out to be. And the simple reason for that is that Crystal Palace didn't score any goals, Southampton didn't score any goals, Leicester didn't score any goals, and West Ham didn't score any goals in game week 1. That's like, the odds of that happening, that they're playing the next 5 people who haven't, or the next 5 teams that haven't scored any goals yet, that's really good for their defense. If you've got their defense and you're playing teams that just don't bite, that's good. Jammy, though, coming back at us with that is just 1 game. You're absolutely right. If they get a clean sheet game week 2, that's 2 games. Quality over quantity. No, I think for defensive purposes, it is quantity over quality. I don't care how they do it. If they keep clean sheets every week, I'm fucking bringing them in. But yeah, no, 1's not enough. Don't encourage me to jerk in United players. I'm not. I'm just letting you guys know that Manchester United, not just for decoration. They look fucking clean at the back. It's a bit overrated because of, you know, whoever shouts loudest wins, and Man United fans are always fucking loud on online, yet not so much at their home stadium. Shots fired. My point is that a lot of people online are going to be like, Man United, Man United, Man United, and it's simply because they have the biggest fan base, and it's why prices change dramatically when they do well. So don't jump at it just yet. Wan-Bissaka might be a bonus magnet, I absolutely agree, and their fixtures are really, really good from game week 3 onwards. So if they do well next week, be sure to like make sure you have your plan down on which Manchester United players you want to bring in, because they will go up in price if they do the exact same thing next week. I'm 100% sure on that. North Carolina man, how's it going, buddy? A long way from North Carolina here in this year old fantasy Premier League game. Welcome. Southampton, so you're not worried that United conceded 18 shots against Chelsea, second worst in league after Villa? Not really. I mean, stats are stats and stats are stats, right? I get it that it's a bit of an issue if they're kind of leaking shots, but how many of them were in the box? How many of them were straight at the keeper? How many of them... Emerson hit the post a couple times, and then it bounced back out. But, you know, we need a bigger sample size. Chelsea did go out and to play attacking, and Man United's tactics were to soak that pressure in, and they didn't soak it in just as well as they should have. But like, how long have they had Harry Maguire to train with them? You know, Wan-Bissaka's a new player. It's their first game for them. I'm gonna give them a bye. Like, it's not the best defense, but they're playing against 4 teams that didn't score in game week 1. So we'll see how it goes. 9 on target, 2 off the post, 2 shots off the woodwork. Both beat De Gea. Yeah, it could have been 4-2. I wasn't expecting anyone to get anything out of that game, to be honest. Like, I didn't expect anyone to have a clean sheet. I didn't expect anyone to score a bucket load of goals. I thought it was going to be like a 1-1 or a 1-2. So the fact that it was a 4-0 doesn't mean anything, because it just means that one of the teams screwed up, not that the other team did better. You know what I mean? Chelsea lost the game for themselves, I would say, is a good way to put that, right? Chelsea lost it for themselves because they just didn't stop going forward. We'll keep an eye on it. If they don't concede any shots next week, what do we do then? If they concede more, what do we do then? Even if they keep a clean sheet, say they concede 30 goals, but none of them go in, or 30 shots rather. So we'll have to see. This whole stream's just been, we'll have to see. It's been an hour and a half of me saying fucking wait.